नमस्ते, सत श्री अकाल। कैसे हैं आप लोग? उम्मीद करती हूँ ठीक होंगे, खुश होंगे। मैं हूँ हसीका अली और मेरे साथ हैं
तारिक नियाजी। अस्सलाम वालेकुम, नमस्ते, सत श्री अकाल। उम्मीद करता हूँ ठीक होंगे, खुश होंगे। दोस्तों जहाँ रहे खुश रहें, माँ बाप का ख्याल करें, क्योंकि माँ बाप है तो सब कुछ है। आज की हमारी वीडियो है
माइंड ब्लोइंग टेक्नोलॉजी। सो स्टार्ट करते हैं अपनी वीडियो को। लेट्स स्टार्ट। ओके गाइस, तो वीडियो का टाइटल है माइंड ब्लोइंग एंशिएंट टेक्नोलॉजी प्रिय विहार टेम्पल कंबोडिया। से स्टार्ट करते हैं। प्रिय विहार फुल है।
Hey guys, today we are at the Preah Vihear temple in Cambodia and I found something very interesting. I cannot really show this from. Now, this temple was built in 12th century, right? So this is about like 900 years old.
12th century.
And you can see these big blocks of sandstone.
yeah.
But apparently this is impossible technology, right? Because you see these huge blocks of stone, but look here, the corner pieces, look at the corner pieces. You think these are, for example, 2 pieces of stones, but they're not. Look at the right angle. This is just one piece of stone. Or it may not even be a stone, it may be like a geopolymer technology, because look, there's nothing in between, no connection. Look here.
No section.
There are no connections. Look here, if you want to. There's a spider here, so I may not be able to touch it. That's a huge spider. But look at the corners. Do you see any lines at all in the corners? No, this is one stone apparently. What kind of technology is this? How did they make these corners completely using single stone blocks? This needs extraordinary engineering. Now,
बिल्कुल
let's go on the other side to see what's going on. Look at this piece again. No connection on the corners. Look here.
ये देखिए
This is
no
not
connection.
just like one piece. It goes all the way here and apparently bends. The stone is bending at an angle. It's curving. And then comes here, goes at a 45-degree angle, and goes all the way outside. And I mean, I have to go outside to show you where this rock ends, because this may not even be a rock. This is extraordinary technology. How did they build this 900 years ago in Cambodia? Now, let me show you the walls here. These huge blocks of walls. Look at this block, for example, right? Look at this block. This is going at a 90 degree. This is going at a 90 degree. Now this is fine. But look at here. There's a small bump. Look at this.
उसको भी इन्होंने फिल किया है.
Okay. Now this was made to fit this block here.
बिल्कुल fit है.
This means that all these blocks were created like a jigsaw puzzle, so that none of them would be easy to pull out. Okay, so this is
आसानी से इनको हटाया नहीं जा
right? Going all the way here. Look at this piece. There is a small bump here to make this fit. Now, none of the stones, or maybe some of the stones are rectangular or trapezoid, right? But none of these two-dimensional faces have 4 corners. They have more than 4 corners. This is extraordinary technology. Each one must weigh, I don't know how many thousands of pounds. And they were able to build this huge jigsaw puzzle 900 years ago. Now, how did they make this? And traditionally, archaeologists and historians will tell, well, they did it out of hard work. They were using chisels and hammers, and they were calculating using threads. Seems impossible to me to make these using chisels and hammers. But I have more evidence. Let's go here. Do you think you can make these with chisels and hammers? Do you think you can make these? Now, look at them. They're so dilapidated, right? So they're completely almost on the brink of destruction because of 900 years. And this area, Preah Vihear temple in Cambodia, is in the Cambodia-Thailand border. War-torn, right? Continuous bombing because of various, political situations. This Hindu temple dedicated to Lord Shiva has these columns.
Lord Shiva के लिए.
It's impossible to make them with chisels and hammers. Engineers agree with what I say. These can be created only using lathe technology. They have to have a rotating mechanism, a rotary mechanism to create these type of, turns. Now, let me show you more.
ओके अच्छा अभी मजीद
Here, look at this column, right? It's a little bit intact and it has a little bit more light. So look at this column. Look at these pieces, right? See, these were created using lathe technology. This proves that ancient builders were using machining technology. So how did they manage to have such an extraordinary rock cutting technology about 900 years ago,
cutting.
right? So let's take a look at this rock, for example. It must be weighing more than a ton, and this is one solid piece of rock sitting in Preah Vihear. Now, Preah Vihear temple is situated on top of a mountain which is more than 800
Acha,
meters
top of a mountain.
high from the
Very
ground
high.
level. And according to locals, all these rocks were not cut from the mountaintop. They were cut from the ground and then transported here. So how were they able to move
कैसे?
massive rocks like
कैसे
this
ले पाए इतना भारी
800 meters up to the top of the mountain?
सही
And
कोई ना कोई
here's
तो टेक्नोलॉजी
where
थी ना
mythology comes into place. Because if you look at that carving over there on top,
वो कैसे लगाया
you can see Lord Krishna lifting up
Lord
a
Krishna.
mountain with one hand. Because according to quote unquote mythology, ancient builders were capable of lifting massive weights. They were
Massive
able to
weight.
lift
बिल्कुल
massive
उठा
rocks like
सकते
this.
थे
And when you look at this carving and then this stone,
जब वो इसको इस रॉक को
there's
लेकर आ सकते हैं
something
तो मतलब उनके पास
very
टेक्नोलॉजी
interesting.
थी
So now look at this carving, which shows how Lord Krishna is able to lift up an entire mountain. And look at this doorway. It's very interesting to see this doorway because we're not able to tell how many pieces are involved in making this doorway. Of course, it's made entirely out of stone. Now look here. We can tell this is one piece. And what about this? Is this a separate column? No. This is one piece. See, there is no joint
my
here.
God,
This is all
this is one piece.
one piece of rock.
सही
बीच में कोई
This
सेक्शन
seems
नहीं है
complex, but let's go on the other side and we may be able to get a better idea. On the other side, we get a better idea. How many pieces are involved in making this massive doorway?
डोर
Only 4. Look at here. This is one piece. And look at this. This is one piece. And then
Top
look
वाला
at
भी other
this.
piece है.
This is one piece. And then on the top,
Massive.
there's another piece.
मैं
Make a
हैरान हूँ ऊपर
massive
लाइट
doorway
ऐसे ये तो
with
टॉप
just
पे बिल्कुल टेंपल
4 pieces of rock. This requires extraordinary precision. And look, what do you think these cuts are there for? Look on the other side as well. What do you think those
खांचा
are
जो बना
doing?
हुआ है
And look carefully.
या अल्लाह
See
मैं
up
कह
top?
रही हूँ
एक
सेक्शन
second,
नहीं
एक
है
second.
What do you
देखिए
think these are?
बीच में से कंप्लीटली जुड़ा हुआ है
Look. These are hinges.
यहाँ
For
पे
the
एक
door.
डोर था वो
Once upon a time-
उसके सपोर्टिंग थी
There was a door here. And not just a door. A door made of one solid rock. Imagine how big that rock must be. So how were they able to do all these kind of extraordinary feats?
Exactly.
Did they do it with just simple tools? Let's look at this area, right? And it's very interesting to see if we look at how these are cut and placed. Now look inside. If you look inside, it appears as though they've cut all these solid chunks just like cutting butter.
किस तरीके से
Look at
काटा
the
होगा बिल्कुल
inside.
एग्जैक्टली
आप देखिए ना
ऐसा लग
of
रहा है किसी मक्खन को
these
काटा उन्होंने।
separated stones. These stone blocks have separated because of an earthquake. And look inside, and you will be able to see
Smooth.
the surface of these blocks. Look at how smooth they are. And then there is something else.
बिल्कुल।
लेकिन बिल्कुल फिट
If
है,
you look at here,
बिल्कुल बीच जगह नहीं है।
these are two separate blocks of stone. But look here, you cannot put anything in between. Look at how perfectly fit they are. It's impossible. How did they manage to put all these blocks like this? Look at how perfect the alignment is, even after
Okay.
900 years. But there's more to this story. It is said that this temple was built by many generations, and the oldest structures were built around 900 AD by a king called Yasovarman. And this part of the temple was said to be built by him. And they say he used a strange technology.
एक वन पीस।
I did not believe this until I saw this, but look at the stone. This part of the stone has been destroyed, possibly because of the war between Thailand and Cambodia. But look at this area. There's something very interesting here. What is this? What is this? Is this really sandstone? Look, when I try to scrape off a portion of this, look what's happening. It's easy to scrape this off. Is it possible to do this on sandstone? No, I think this is some kind of geopolymer technology where various types of stones, gravel, sand, etc. were put together and made into huge blocks. Today, we have geopolymer technology where large blocks of stone-like structures are created.
900
Did
years
ancient
ago।
people create this kind of technology? Is this
पता
why
है।
we are able to see these bent rocks?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
This place is
Unbelievable.
full of mysteries. The technology involved is
हाँ,
unbelievable.
कहीं हम खुद को समझ रहे
Today,
हैं।
we think we are master engineers in the 21st century. But these ancient builders,
They were
whoever
so
built them,
talented, seriously।
they were amazing engineers.
God.
Just look at these stone steps, for example. These two steps are actually made of one rock.
ये देखिए ये
And
देखिए ये
this
देखिए।
is not
Sectionized
an
नहीं है।
exception. We can see stone steps like this all the time, which means what? Look at this step as well. This is not
Okay.
two different blocks. This is one
कमाल है।
solid piece of stone, and they were able to
ये
easily
देखिए।
cut it like this. This entire
ओहो।
place is full of stones like this. Let's look at these steps, for example. This is the ancient entrance to the Preah Vihear temple. These stone steps were made in the 9th century, about 1,000 years ago.
एक ही रॉक
But
है।
when I examine them, I'm amazed because what we are looking at
ये
is
joined है ना?
an architectural marvel. Look at these steps
एक
and
ही।
tell me
एक ही है,
if
कोई
you
joint
see
नहीं है
any
बीच
में। यहीं पे
joints
काटा है।
at all. No.
कैसे
these
करा?
seven
कौन सी
steps are
टेक्नोलॉजी
made
थी उनके
of
पास
the
जितनी
same
आसानी से ही
rock.
कर पाए?
ये एक
This
पीस।
is hard to fathom, but you may understand this better if you look at the side protruding outside.
ये देखिए
Yes,
ना।
that is also a part of the same rock. And this complex design is not an exception. This seems to be the
ये
norm
देखिए।
for the ancient builders. Let me show you another one. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Rock.
6, 7. 7 steps made
Lot
out
of
of
ton
one
वाकई।
large rock, weighing a lot of tons and perfectly pieced together
ये
with
भी
the
joint
rest
है?
of the staircase. And
ये भी
we,
joint है?
the
ओह।
so-called
देखें ना।
sophisticated visitors,
तो इसे यहाँ लाए
do not
कैसे?
even notice this
इतना
marvel
perfection के साथ
while
fit कैसे किया?
using these chairs. This means
My
that
God.
ancient builders were cutting massive pieces of rocks or using geopolymer technology to make complex shapes. Now, while historians and archaeologists say that these structures were built about 1,000 years ago, some people believe that these structures were made much, much earlier in time. These sound like crazy stories, but there may be evidence of this. Let's go take a look at that carving.
अच्छा और भी कुछ है बस.
take a look. वो देखिए.
Here you can see a very strange carving. There is a couple sitting on top of an animal. But look at the size of the humans and look at the size of that animal. This animal is almost the size of an elephant, of a modern day elephant, but you can tell it's not an elephant. It almost looks like a massive cat-like animal. This is definitely a prehistoric animal. And Hinduism, in Hindu temples, in India and in other countries, there are carvings of extinct prehistoric animals like the saber-toothed tiger. Was this temple really built 1,000 years ago? Or was it built during prehistoric times? There's something very mysterious about Preah Vihear, this temple dedicated to Lord Shiva in Cambodia. And we're going to see more in the next video soon. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Bye.
Okay. अनबिलीवेबल यार.
अनबिलीवेबल. मैं तो बस अभी तक परेशान हूँ. ये वाला हिस्सा भी जॉइंट है, नीचे की भी मतलब 7 स्टेप्स जॉइंट थे. हैरान हूँ मैं कैसे.
और इतने
मतलब
बड़े.
मैं ही सोच रही हूँ एक तो ग्राउंड लेवल से उस पहाड़ के टॉप तक लेकर आना.
बिल्कुल.
इतने मैसिव रॉक को कैसे. उसके बाद चले ठीक है किसी तरह आप ले भी आए. तो कौन सी ऐसा टेक्नोलॉजी थी जिसने रॉक को मक्खन की तरह काटा था अपने
स्मूथली.
बिल्कुल. मतलब आपको जैसी चाहिए, जैसी आपको चाहिए बिल्कुल वैसी उसी शेप में, टच से मस नहीं उससे.
अच्छा ये जो चीज़ें हैं ये एक तरह से बहुत बड़ा प्रूफ है कि हमारे जो पिछले दौर के लोग थे 10-10 हज़ार साल पहले वो इतने. अच्छा कुछ लोगों का ख्याल है कि 900 साल पुराना है, कई लोगों का ख्याल है कि कई पुरानी मतलब उससे भी ज़्यादा पुरानी, बहुत पुरानी है ये.
हाँ,
तो उस दौर में भी इतनी बेहतरीन टेक्नोलॉजी. अच्छा ठीक है नहीं पता, लेकिन उस टेक्नोलॉजी से जो चीज़ बनी हुई है वो तो देखो.
तो देखिए
इसका मतलब है कि ये
ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी तो अभी भी नहीं होगी.
हाँ ना, मैं कह रहा हूँ कि ये चीज़ें बता रही हैं कि पुराने दौर के लोग बहुत ज़्यादा डेवलप थे, उन्हें हर चीज़ का पता था. यार
मुझे लग रहा है उनके पास बड़ी हैवी मशीनरीज, बड़ी मतलब टेक्नोलॉजी थी. वो
कहाँ गई उसका कोई प्रूफ नहीं मिला, लेकिन उन्होंने जो चीज़ें बना दी वो हमारे लिए आज हैरान
है. हमारे लिए हम वैसा बना ही नहीं सकते, जबकि हम अभी इतने डेवलप्ड हो चुके हैं, इससे एक इजादात कर चुके हैं, इतने मतलब एडवांस्ड हो चुके हैं, इतने आगे बढ़ चुके हैं, इतने मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजी में भी ऐसी चीज़ें बना नहीं सकते हम. बहुत दिक्कत आएगी. तो उन्होंने कैसे बनाया
इतने बड़े बड़े हैवी पत्थर, इतने बड़े बड़े. और अच्छा एक चीज़ मैंने ये नोट की, आपने देखा कि 2 ब्लॉक जो हैं वो आपस में जो कॉर्नर बन रहा था,
मैं क्या कह लूं, जॉइंट्स नहीं है उसमें.
मतलब कॉर्नर वाला इन्होंने
किस तरीके से तराशा होगा उसको.
किस तरीके से,
मैं हैरान हूँ. वो शेप बनाया कैसे होगा, वो कैसे जॉइंट थे, मैं अभी तक नहीं समझ पा रही हूँ सीरियसली.
किस तरह बनाया होगा, फिर वो अपनी अपनी जगह फिट आए.
अच्छा आपने देखा वो ऊपर वाले जो पार्ट था उसके अंदर तो फिर थोड़ा सा स्पेस दिख गया आपको. ठीक है, नीचे वाला पार्ट बिल्कुल फिट है,
बिल्कुल
एक दूसरे पे बिल्कुल जमे हुए हैं, जैसे मुंजमद है.
अच्छा जरा भी मतलब उसमें कोई लहर नहीं,
थोड़ा सा भी गैप नहीं कि बुरा लगे देख के, मतलब इस तरीके से.
और ये टेम्पल लॉर्ड शिवा को डेडिकेट है. अच्छा इसमें एक एनिमल का लास्ट में जिक्र किया कि एक एनिमल का जो है उसके ऊपर इंसान खड़ा होता, ह्यूमन. तो उस एनिमल से ह्यूमन के हिसाब से वो एनिमल बहुत बड़ा लग रहा था,
बहुत बड़ा.
तो इतने बड़े बड़े जानवर थे. और अच्छा एनिमल के ऊपर अगर वो खड़ा हुआ है तो इसका मतलब एक और चीज़ जो मैं थोड़ा सा इजाफा कर रहा हूँ, तो क्या इंसान ने उन जानवरों पर कंट्रोल कर लिया था? देखो
या उनसे काम लेते थे?
लेकिन एक सोचने की बात है कि अगर जानवर के ऊपर है इंसान, तो इसका मतलब वो कंट्रोल कर रहे थे। बहुत मतलब अमेजिंग, अनबिलीवेबल। अच्छा, इनकी जो रिसर्च है प्रवीण जी की, मैं हैरान हूँ कि यार। अच्छा, एक चीज़ है, मैं बिल्कुल सच बताऊँ, मुझे इन चीज़ों पे इंटरेस्ट है, बहुत है।
अच्छा, रिसर्च वगैरह पे,
मतलब इस तरह की चीज़ें देख के और
हिस्टोरिकल चीज़ों पे, हाँ।
लेकिन अगर मुझे इस जगह छोड़ दिया जाता तो मैं, जाहिर सी बात है कि इस
डिटेल में नहीं देखते।
मतलब वो एक छोटी सी चीज़ों को उन्होंने नोट किया।
आपने देखो रब कर रहे, रगड़ कर देख
अच्छा,
रहे कि ये मटेरियल कैसा है।
एक और ऑप्शन भी बताया कि क्या इस तरह की ब्लॉग बनाते थे वो, क्या इतनी खूबसूरत सी ब्लॉग मटेरियल से, पत्थर से, क्या उनके पास ऐसी कोई टेक्नोलॉजी थी कि पहाड़ जैसी ब्लॉग बन जाती थी उनसे?
अच्छा, मैं हैरान हूँ, आपने देखा वो जो डोर वाला था 4 पीसेस पे बना हुआ था, और वो इतना बड़ा डोर 4 पीसेस पे सिर्फ बना हुआ था। कैसे इतने
हैवी पीसेस होंगे वो पूरे पत्थर?
मैं अभी तक हैरान हूँ कि वो पहाड़ की टॉप तक कैसे आए वो रॉक, कौन सी ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी वो यूज कर रहे थे।
मैं कह रहा हूँ कि इंसान को सोच में डाल दे। और ये हमारे यहाँ समझो, हम हमारे जो आबाओ अजदाद जिस जगह पर थे, ये वहाँ के निशानात हैं, ये वहाँ की तरक्की, ये वो बहुत मतलब है कि एडवांस थे यार, एडवांस थे, बहुत एडवांस। और आपने इनकी वो वीडियो देखी थी जिसमें मतलब है कि मेडिकल से रिलेटेड, मेरे ख्याल में अभी तक हमारी अपलोड नहीं हुई है, मेडिकल से रिलेटेड मंदिरों में जो वो था, पूरी चीज़ें दिखाई गई हैं। वो मतलब है कि हैरान कौन है। वो इंशाल्लाह बहुत जल्द वीडियो जल्दी अपलोड करेंगे, आप देखिएगा। और सेकंड ये है कि इनकी जो रिसर्च है, मैं इनको मतलब सलूट करता हूँ कि इनका जो देखने का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है, इनका देखने का नज़रिया है, वो कमाल का है। और इस वीडियो ने तो हमें वाकई बहुत कुछ सोचने पे मजबूर कर दिया।
बहुत शॉकिंग वीडियो, बहुत ज़्यादा अनबिलीवेबल वीडियो कि वाकई क्या मिस्ट्री है इसके पीछे, हम नहीं सुलझा पा रहे।
बिल्कुल। तो दोस्तों, दोबारा किसी और वीडियो के साथ आपसे मुलाकात होगी, जब तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज़।